I'm about to blow. I gotta stay on my hustle, you know that I'm grinding for sure. I came up right from the bottom, now they see me chasing my goals. Now they see me on the go, yeah. Now they see me on the road. It's time to hustle, yeah, it's time to grow. I'ma shoot for the stars and we aim for the gold. It's time to hustle, yeah, it's time to grow.
Kia ora everyone, welcome back to Hustlers. I'm your host, Loss. We got the man on Ihaia West, aka Easy E. What's up, G?
What's up, my bro? How are you?
Good, bro. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, bro. Not too bad.
What part of France are you in at the moment?
We're in La Rochelle, bro. It's like on the west coast, about halfway up. Not a bad little spot, bro. Little town, similar to Hawke's Bay, actually, like a seaside town, bro. Similar size. So, no, we're loving it, bro, over here at the moment.
So it sort of feels a little bit like closer to home, kind of.
Yeah, very similar, bro. Very similar. Like stony beaches, like similar to back home, not the nice sandy ones you find in other parts of France, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, awesome little town and good people and good group of boys in the team and stuff. So always makes it easy when you got a good group of foreigners looking after you.
You done much traveling?
Bro, heaps, eh? Like whenever we get a bit of time off, we try and get away.
I'm jealous, you bastard.
Bro, honestly, like being over here, it's so easy to travel, bro. Like everywhere's so close. Like in Europe, bro, you're an hour flight from London, hour and a half from Spain, bro. It's crazy over here, but yeah. Anytime we get off, bro, we try and get away as much as we can.
Where's the most recent spot you've been to?
So last off season, bro, we had 6 weeks off. So where did we start? We went to Mallorca, a little island off the coast of Spain first.
Bro, that's where Love Island's recorded, eh?
Yeah, bro, yeah, they filmed Love Island. Bro, they were filming it when we were there. We tried to, we thought about drive past the villa, but it was quite far away from where we were staying, and I guess there'd be and stuff. Anyway, but that was nice, bro. We went there, and then we went around a few of the Greek islands, bro. Mykonos, Naxos, Paros, bro. Unreal. Greek islands probably one of my favorite spots in Europe so far. And then we finished in the south of France. So yeah, the 6 weeks, bro, we were away the whole time, and then got back into Mahi. But yeah, bro, the time off you get, you got to make the most of it.
Bro, that's gone. Fuck, that's mean. Before we crack into it, I'll just make a quick shout out to the sponsor, Arepa. Have you seen that drink before?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's like a non-caffeine drink. It's pretty much a brain drink. So supposed to help with that cognitive performance. Word on the streets, the AVs are using it at the moment. It's scientifically proven, like it's been made by like world leading scientists, and it actually tastes mean too. We fridge into the podcast, but we don't have one yet because of shipping with COVID fucking everything up. But you can go onto the website and use Hustlers20 and you get a discount code, 20% off your box, and try it out yourself. You take it 20 minutes before you're supposed to do something, whether it be you got a big night studying or you got a game on and you got to get that last kick. It's good for everything, bro. So they actually hooked me up with my guests, bro. So if you're keen, I'll get you a box over to try it out. Yeah,
bro, definitely keen. I think I've actually seen Brad Weber. I think he's chucked it up on his social media, maybe.
Oh, does he run it?
That. Possibly, yeah. Or like he's tried it. I think I've seen something about him with that, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, you try it and see if it works out. You might fucking be pumping it, G.
Yeah,
let's go back to the start, G. Let's go back to your upbringing and that. Where were you born and brought up?
Yeah, bro. So I was born in Hawke's Bay, little village there called Havelock North, about 5 minutes from Hastings, 20 minutes from Napier. Had a pretty good upbringing. My mum's a small town Maori girl from Ruatori on the east coast, and my dad's a small town Pākehā fella from a little town called Geraldine, south of Christchurch. So pretty much two opposites, bro. But they're both teachers, and they sort of cross paths, and you know, me and my sister later, there's a family. But yeah, they settled in Hawke's Bay, and I spent all my childhood there. Big whānau, bro. My mum's one of 12 brothers and sisters. My dad is one of 5, so heaps of cousins, heaps of whānau gatherings, heaps of sport with the cousins and playing in the backyard and stuff like that. Well, like I said, older sister. So we're pretty close, still close now, and yeah, I was pretty lucky with the upbringing I had in the mighty Bay, real Bay.
The second Bay. Where'd you play schoolboy footy, G?
So I went to Napier Men's. We call it Napier Men's High School.
Napier Men's, Rotorua Men's High School.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, I did my high schooling there and loved it, bro. Like I said, my dad is a secondary high school teacher, so he actually taught there. So ever since like I was little, I was going to watch the first 15 games and all the sports there. So I always wanted to go to that school and wear the famous sky blue jersey, we call it. So I was lucky enough to do that and got some of my best mates still to this day that spent those 5 years at school with, and we had some awesome memories and yeah, played some good footy too. So yeah, it was a really enjoyable time.
How many years did you play first 15 there?
I played 2. So my year 12 and year 13. In my year 11, bro, I was too small, too scared to try and trial, so I was just stuck with the humble under 15s and didn't want to try and tackle the big boys, so I just stayed with my size boys. And then yeah, my last 2 years of school, I played first 15. I could have gone back I was young enough to go back and play again.
I was just going to ask that if you were young, because you said under 15s and you're 11.
Yeah. So I was young enough to go back and play or do another year at school, but yeah, I was over the schoolwork and sitting in class and stuff like that. So yeah, I did consider it, but no, I didn't end up doing it.
Did you ever gig like pretty much straight away leaving school?
Oh yeah, like academy contract. So I actually signed a academy contract in my last year of school with Hawke's Bay. So I signed a 2-year one. So the first year was my last year, and it was like $1,000, and I thought I was balling, bro. Like it was like 4 paydays throughout the year, like every 3 months, and it was like $200 coming into my account, and I was straight down to the dairy shouting the boys pies and cokes and stuff. Thought I was mean, but yeah. Then the next year, there was a bit more money, and I was training with academy, and then on top of that, they put you into like EIT, which is like the polytech down there. So I wasted a bit of my time there, just going to class every now and then and not really paying attention and failing. So that was a bit of a waste of time. But
what did you study there?
I did sport and rec, just your classic, like what I wanted to do. A couple of other boys were doing it too, so I was like, yeah, I'll do that. But that's when you like academy days, you have gym like 6 a.m. in the morning, and then some of the boys go work. Yeah, some of the boys go work or study, and then you got training later that night. So there was a lot of days like you'd go gym, and then after gym you'd be like, nah, I can't be doing class today. So you go home and sleep all day and miss class and start failing. And yeah, so those were the good old days.
Very preached. I fucking failed. I tried to get a uni as well, and I failed that shit.
Yeah.
But did you spend any time with the like Midas team in that year?
What year was that? No, not my first year out of school. I went and did like a couple of trainings and stuff, but I was like, I wasn't keen to try and play either. Like I was like tiny as like 70 kgs, dripping wet. Wasn't trying to go out there and tackle all those big boys. So I went to a few trainings here and there, and but it wasn't until the next year where they sort of got me in a bit more. And I think I was on the bench for 1 game or so, but then 2012 was the year where I made the squad.
Was that your third year out?
Yeah, so I finished school in 2009, and then 2012 was my first year in the Magpie setup.
Do you reckon? I'll just like speaking to you then. Like, sounds like you got heaps of like self-awareness. Have you ever felt that, like, kind of like patience in a way? Like, if I think of boys like our age and that, like, no matter how big we were like, fuck, we just wanted to like play top level like straight away. It's like you knew your body, you knew yourself. Like you're like year 11, you're like, fuck, I'm not ready yet. Like year 12, I am. And same thing with when you came out of school and that. Do you feel like you've always been like that?
Yeah, I think so, a little bit. I don't know if it's self-awareness or just being scared of trying to tackle big boys. But no, it's definitely a bit of self-awareness. Like, I think it was probably a little bit different when I came out of school until like a couple of years after I finished, where boys were getting contracts a lot younger and they were getting younger boys, you know, straight in from school. I think it's probably started maybe a year or so after we left. So when I was coming out of school, there wasn't too many boys playing Mitres or playing Super. There was probably one or two here and there. So I knew like I could just bide my time and, you know, build that experience and that confidence to play with grown men to be able to get out in the field and do what I do.
That's mean. Do you remember your debut for the Magpies?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I remember it. It was against Counties at home. The only way I remember it is because I like got the ball and made like this little break down the sideline, and then I did like this little rubber, but the touchy put his flag up. But then they showed the replay on the big screen. Oh, and I went and scored, but the touchy had his flag up, and they showed on the big screen, bro. And I kicked the ball before my foot went out, and then they showed the touchdown on the big screen, bro. And he was just getting ripped into. I felt sorry for him by that, but you know, my debut would have been nice to score that. But
did you start that game or?
No, I came off the bench, so I came off for like the last probably 20.
Oh, the impact, bro! Impact.
What could have been? What could have been?
Holy shit! Well, I'm gonna snip at that, G. We'll chuck that up. That'll be funny. I'll try to find that. How long did you spend in the Magpies before you kind of started knocking on Super?
So 2012, like the 2012 year was my first year, and I played like, I think my debut was maybe like the third or fourth game. Came off the bench a couple of times, and then probably started like the last 3 or 4 games. And then the next year, 2013, we had a pretty good year. The Magpies, we like won the Shield, and lost it like a week later. But we got to the final of the championship, like not the top one, but the second one. Yeah, and we lost that, and like my name was getting thrown around a bit for Super and stuff, but I didn't manage to get one. I was actually got an offer from the Rebels, so I was thinking about going over to Melbourne.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but at that time I was like young, pretty scared to move away from home, you know, go to a big city like Melbourne. And also there was chat about me making the Maori All Blacks, so I was, you know, real keen to stay and play for them. Yeah. And then NZ Rugby said that they'll give me like a little sort of like an injury replacement gig at some Super team for that next season. So 2014 was when I sort of first got into Super, but it was a weird setup, bro. Like I went to the Chiefs for pre-season on the thing from the New Zealand Rugby Union. So I spent pre-season there and a couple of weeks of the season there. And then I went back to Hawke's Bay, played some club rugby, and also played for the Hurricanes development, because you have to play for like the development team that your union's in. So I had to play for the Canes development, and then like halfway through that season, I got called into the Blues. So I finished that season, 2014 season at the Blues, and that's where I made my debut and played my first bit of Super Rugby. It was crazy, bro. I was at the Chiefs at the start, played for the Canes development, and then finished at the Blues. So it was a whirlwind of a year.
Holy shit, bro! Remember that? Any memorable moments from that debut?
For the Blues?
Yeah,
bro. Yeah, I remember it because we were playing the Reds. The week before I was on the bench, we played the Waratahs at Eden Park, and I sat on the bench for 80 just watching the boys win, and didn't manage to debut, but you know, I was stoked that the boys won, and I was just there like sitting on the bench just in awe of like who I was playing with and playing against, like the boys that were on that field. And then the next week we played the Reds, and I got my debut. The boys were up by a few, and I got to come on, and I managed to get a tenacious try, bro. Like Charlie Pewsell got this intercept, and he just got tackled, bro, and I was just like the closest one, so he just offloaded to me, and I managed to score because no one else was around. And that was my debut, bro.
Oh, I remember that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Did you?
I was pretty lucky, bro. Like I was pretty stoked to be in that position when Charles got that intercept.
That's wicked, bro. What about like moving on, like further on to the sort of Māoris? Like, when were you sort of in the frame for that?
Yeah, so that was the year before, the 2013 year, when we had a pretty good Mitre 10 Cup season. It was I-Team Cup back then.
Right.
Yeah, so 2013 we played the final, like I said, that championship final against Tasman. Bro, we were losing. We scored on the hooter in the corner. Last play, bro, I had a kick to win it, bro, right in front of like all their fans. Like, 'cause down in Nelson, bro, the fans like right on the fence, like right on the sideline.
Yeah.
Bro, just into me. And I was like, can't wait to kick it. Bro, and I shanked it. Missed it, bro. Final whistle win, and that was game over. And then, so we spent the night there, bro. And then the next day, us boys from both teams flew to Auckland, I think it was, for the Māoris tour. So, the Tasman boys were all hungover and stuff, happy on the plane, and all us Hawke's Bay boys were just sulking, sitting next to them. Yeah, that was my first Māoris tour, bro, 2013. We went to Canada and the States, so it was a pretty awesome tour. And like growing up as a Māori boy, it's always a team you want to be a part of, and to have the chance to play for them, and two pretty cool countries like Canada and the States was awesome.
Yeah, there's probably two countries like growing up you probably wouldn't think you'd go to for footy here, eh? Like Canada and the States.
100%. Like, you don't see much of them playing footy or things like that. So to be able to go there and experience it, I think we went, we went to an NBA game and things like that. So it was crazy, bro, and it was awesome.
You seen any of that MLR?
Yeah, bro, I've seen a little bit of it. Like, bro, it looks pretty unreal, eh? Like, I follow some of the boys that are in the LA team, like just the lifestyle they live in, bro. Looks pretty crazy. Even the New York team, bro. New York team will be unreal, bro. But yeah, hopefully it keeps kicking off in the next couple of years, and might be able to finish off my career in the States. Will be pretty cool.
Is that something you consider? Because you're always quite hard out into your like American sports in that, eh? I think I remember.
Yeah, bro. Always keen on bit of b-ball and American football and stuff like that. So, and we've spent like we said before, a bit of traveling. Like we went to New York for one of our breaks and went to a couple of games and stuff. And yeah, they just do sport so cool in the States, eh? Like everything around the game, like before, halftime, after, is unreal. So yeah, it'll definitely be something that I'll consider later on in my career.
It's hard out commercialized over there, eh? The only thing with the teams is like boys just aren't getting enough coin at the moment, eh? But fuck, I could see that. I could see that growing massively, especially with the amount of money that's in America.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, 100%.
Like that dude that owns the LA team. Do you know who that is? Gilchrist?
Yeah, he's like he owns Fit 45 or something.
Yeah, bro. He's the founder of F45, which is worth like billions now, I think. So they're not short of fucking coin over there.
Yeah, bro.
Did you ever like feel on the field like overwhelmed by sort of pressures and that, like you talked about in that game against Tasman where you kicked on the sideline, and like there would have been heaps of moments throughout your career where the pressure was on and stuff. Did you ever like feel quite overwhelmed by it? Because I've always noticed that you're quite a relaxed person, and like you kind of almost like things don't sort of phase you.
No, I definitely been through some struggles. Like for me, bro, 2015 at the Blues was a real tough year. Like I said, I went up in 2014 and like halfway through the season and started like the last few games of that season and went not too bad, and then signed a new deal there for a couple of years and expected it to be easy the following year. Went back 2015, bro, and we went 0-8 to start the season. And I like played all those games, bro. And then obviously being a 10, bro, you're the driver of the game. So if your team's not going well, you're gonna take a lot of the heat. And yeah, I took quite a bit of heat, bro. And back then I was young and didn't really know, how to deal with it or anything. So I'd go onto social media after the game and I'd read all the comments and see what people are saying. And it really, bro, and it really like, I didn't know how to deal with it, bro. Like I'd get on the field and I'd be like, lining up a kick, like in the middle of the game, lining up a kick, and I'll be like, if I miss this, like someone's gonna write something about me, blah blah blah. Just wasn't in the right mental place, bro, at that time. So yeah, that was a big work on, bro, for me. And lucky we had a good mental skills coach at the Blues, the next year, who she helped me a lot with that. And yeah, it's definitely with experience it's come where I've learned just to, you can't care what people are going to write about you, because people are going to write something about you no matter what. So yeah, I've definitely grown from those times, but those were definitely some tough times, like you asked about.
Yeah, what do you sort of like when you look at those moments now? Like, what do you feel like you've changed the most since back then?
I think just to be honest, like just not caring what people think.
Yeah.
Like those people are people are gonna write no matter what. Like, and you don't know. Like I wouldn't know that person from a bar of soap. So why should I care what they think or what they're gonna write about me? I don't know what they do for a living, what they do for during their time. So yeah, not caring what people think, because people are gonna write stuff about you, good or bad. But that goes both ways too. Like I've learned a bit from, going back to those days as well. Like if I'd have a good game, I'd be on there, like reading all the comments, like people pumping me up, and I'd be like, yo, I'm the man. But like it goes both ways. Like now I just find that, I just stay away from it no matter what. Like if I had a good game, if the next week you got another chance. So it doesn't matter how good you played your last game. The only thing that matters is the next game.
You know how like weird it is how different the game is probably now compared to back in the day when they used to play and there was no social media, no one would post about shit. Like how different it would have been.
Yeah, it's weird to think about, like, because so much of today's society, not only in sport, is just built around social media. So yeah, it is weird to think of, the boys just going out there playing, just enjoying it for what it is, and the only thing they'll have is the crowd there on game day, to take what they're saying during the games.
Did you ever find like a point in your career where you felt like you were in a sort of, you talked about 2015 being like a tough one, maybe on the field, and like how to deal with the pressure? Did you find like ever you're in a bit of a tough like mental space?
Yeah, I think, like that really, like on the field and stuff, it really got to me mentally as well. Like not only just on the field, but off it. Like obviously, like I said, I was reading comments and stuff, and I'll be like, oh, it'll just be really getting to me, and I'll be like, I'm trying my best, but we're not playing well, I'm losing. Like guys are coming at me online, blah blah. So it did get to me mentally, but like I said, we had a pretty good mental skills coach, and she gave me a few tools and stuff like that to use on the field and also off the field as well, to clear the head and think about why you're there in the first place and why you enjoy playing rugby.
What advice would you give to like a young buck coming through, just come out of school and he's probably going into the same sort of arena? What would you sort of tell him? What would you tell your younger self?
What I'd tell my younger self? Yeah, probably just all that stuff. Like no matter how good you play, no matter how bad you play, people are gonna have an opinion on your game or on you individually, no matter what. So if you can stay at neutral, I've read this book where it's called "It Takes What It Takes," and they talk about bringing it back to just staying at neutral, not getting too far ahead of yourself, not getting too negative if you've had a bad game or stuff. Just being in the middle. If you can find that middle ground after a man of the match performance, or after you've kicked 1 from 7, that's when I think you'll be on the right track. Just if you can come back to neutral and just know why you're there and why you play the game in the first place.
100%. And like just like anything, comes down to practice. Like I think people would probably think, I tried that and it's not working, but like fuck, it's just like anything. Like you got to keep doing it repetitively, and then like you sort of get used to it.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And I feel that consistently as well. Like for me, my preparation throughout the week, I know if I'm consistent and I'm doing the same, if I'm consistent in my prep, then they'll put me in a good space moving into the weekend and the game. So, but that's something I have just learned recently. Like, in my younger days, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I feel like kicking now. I'll have a few kicks here and there, or one day I'll be like, oh, I can't bother kicking, I won't kick. But And just the last few years, if I found if my prep is consistent, then my performance will be consistent as well. So yeah.
So you were at the Blues till what year? You came down on the Canes after that, eh?
Yeah, so I was at the Blues from 2014 to 2017, and then I had a year at the Canes in 2018.
2018, that's right. That's why I met you.
Yeah,
How
right.
old were you when you get from there to offshore?
I was 26. Yeah, 26 when we left.
So a lot of people would say like that's like a young age to go for players in NZ. What was your sort of main reason around it?
To be honest, bro, like I wish I came over earlier. Like
Really?
just the lifestyle over here, bro. The rugby, we're just loving it, bro. But the reason we came over, well, La Rochelle, they came to us and they came to my agent and said they were interested, blah, blah, blah. And this was the year before we went to the Canes. So we sort of hummed and hard, my wife now and I was sort of hummed and hard whether we wanted to make the move, and we thought we weren't quite ready. So we signed that 1 year with the Canes, and then after that we thought, we'd have to look somewhere else because obviously La Rochelle might want someone else. But we went back to them the next year and they said they were still keen. So then we were like, yeah, it's the right time to go. Like we want to experience the other side of the world. We want to be able to travel and learn a different language and a different culture and stuff. So yeah, it was just the time for us. We made a decision and we did it. But like I said, if I could have, I would have done it earlier.
Yeah, that's all good. Did any super teams try to hold you here?
Nah, because when we signed with the Canes, they knew that I was just going to stay for the 1 year and was going to go overseas.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't ask around any of the other teams.
Was there any chat from the All Blacks at all?
Not that year, mate. Like I think it was after 2016 maybe. I had a couple of chats with Fozzie here and there, but nothing serious or anything. So nah.
Well, what's the difference you found in rugby over there, like compared to here?
Oh, it's a lot different. Like, yeah, it definitely takes getting used to. Like the first 6 months was pretty tough because like a lot of teams over here, all they do is they just scrum for penalties, kick to the corner, maul for a penalty, kick 3 points, and then just do that on repeat.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of teams in France where like it's a much slower game over here. Generally, there are some teams that like to play some good running rugby and have some pretty good talent, but yeah, it's a lot more physical and a lot slower and a lot more kicking and forward orientated play than it is back home and back in Super.
Which would you prefer?
I definitely enjoy an open brand of rugby. Like sometimes it can get frustrating, bro. You're just standing at 10 and the scrums are taking like 3 or 4 minutes, and like the forwards get angry, bro, if you get the ball out. Like if they any sense of them moving forward and the 9 gets the ball out just because we want to play, bro, they're just looking at them like, leave the ball in the scrum, we're gonna get a penalty, blah, blah, blah. But we're pretty lucky at our team. Like we've got some foreign coaches. Like we've got Ronan O'Gara as our coach, so he's come from the Crusaders. So he's definitely more inclined to having like an open brand of rugby and letting us play what we see and stuff. So we're pretty lucky at our club, and we play a pretty good brand of footy, I think.
He's a wizard, bro.
Yeah, bro. He's been around the trap, so he knows the stuff.
What's because I've always heard everyone that goes over there talks about the crowds, bro. What's the crowds been like?
Bro, that's the thing. That's another thing that's unreal. Like, like most crowds in France are unreal. Our one, bro, is crazy. Like I think it's like 58 or 59 games in a row that has just been sold out. Obviously, this was not counting COVID because we couldn't have full crowd and stuff. But when there's been allowed to have full crowds, it's been like close to 60 games in a row that they've had a sold out venue. I think our stadium holds 16,000. So it's not the biggest in France, but like the crowd we get, bro, and like how like vocal they are throughout the game is just crazy, bro. And it's something that, you know, a lot of players enjoy about the game over here as well.
A lot of the stadiums are smaller over there, as well.
Yeah, bro, they're smaller, so then like you get.
It's smart, bro. Why would everyone have 100%. It like that?
Yeah. So like you get like I said, our one's 16,000 and it's just full, you know, every game, like I said, and just packed. And yeah, most of the stadiums around are pretty similar size. There's the odd one that's a lot bigger, but yeah, they're all similar size, and it's pretty cool, bro.
How's your French?
Probably for the time I've been here, like not where it should be. Like I should be a lot further. Like I've been here 3 years, so I probably should be close to fluent, but I'm not. But you know, I can hold my own in conversations and understand like a lot. And yeah, that's pretty good. Not the best. Like we got some other foreigners, bro, that are unreal. Like Victor Vito's here. He's gone, bro. He's pretty good.
Okay, answer this question in French if you can.
Okay.
Tell me about your favorite restaurant in France.
Ouais, c'est ici en La Rochelle. Il s'appelle Isio. Ils ont un bon entrecôte. Je prends ça avec des frites. And pour dessert, je prends the chocolate lava cake. I just said like my favorite ones here in La Rochelle is called Isio, and they have a pretty good entrecôte steak and obviously a dessert.
Chocolate lava cake.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to learn French when the menu's in English.
I got a few foodie questions here for you. Just here's one that sort of bring you back to home, because I don't think they don't have KFC over there, do they?
I've got KFC, but it's not KFC.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your go-to KFC order?
Oh, it's been a while, bro, because I don't have it over here. Like, back home would be like what are the boxes called with like chicken pieces, and then you get like bread rolls and stuff? I don't know. Anyway, it would be like a few pieces of chicken, like a packet of those dinner rolls. With a big potato and gravy, bro. Over here they don't have it. Like over here, the KFC, they don't have like chicken pieces. They just got like these little chicken, like these plastic chicken tenders. No potato and gravy. No, like none of those bread rolls. So yeah, we're on struggle street over here of KFC.
Oh, right. Fuck, that must suck, bro, not having KFC, where you got every other best food in the fucking world over there.
Yeah, bro.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, I don't know. I go through phases, like.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah, but probably for me, like nothing would be like a good steak, where I have like a creamy as mushroom sauce and some mashed potatoes, bro. That would probably be my go-to. Take me back to my childhood.
What about your favorite restaurant back home here?
Ooh. I've actually been like lately. I've been thinking about Burger Fuel. Like I miss Burger Fuel. It's not really a restaurant, but more of a takeout.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. I've been craving a Burger Fuel burger lately. We'll go to that.
What do you remember running from Burger Fuel?
Burnout, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
Like chicken and bacon, then some fries with that aioli, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, and the chocolate shake. No good for the skinnies, but
holy shit.
Bro, actually, that's another thing about being in France, bro. The skinnies blow out in France, bro.
Oh, hey.
Food. Yeah, bro. The bread, like the croissants, bro, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky the game's a bit sold.
I heard the oh yeah, that would actually be true. Is it like, do you find that that's kind of better because like you don't get so blunt? Because like in New Zealand we play like fast tempo, high tempo, everything's quick. You're fucked after the game. Like,
Yeah.
do you find like it's kind of better in that sense over there? The bodies are kind of all good.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's definitely slower on the legs, like a lot slower game, but like I said, it's a little bit more physical. Like, bro, you should see some of the boys over here. Like, some of the front rows in there are like massive, bro. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen much, but we've got a couple of boys in our team. Winnie Antonio, he went to Wesley, bro, but he's been in France for ages. He's like pushing 150 kgs. We've got Will Skelton as well. Will Skelton, the lock from Australia, he's like close to 150 kgs, bro. Like, the boys over here are massive. So the game is obviously a lot slower for them as well.
Does the training like reflect that? Like, is it quite less running, more physical stuff?
No, not at our team. Like I said, with Ronan, bro, he's really changed it, and it's a lot similar to how we train back home. And we've got some pretty professional like trainers as well, who are massive into their numbers throughout the week and stuff like that. So, our training is pretty similar to back home.
If you could give some advice to young players on overseas options, what would it be?
Well, I'd say take it, eh?
Yeah.
Honestly, like even if you're like young coming out of school, like even if it's for like a year or two, just to experience something different, just to see the world. Like we've got some couple of young, they're called the Espoirs, it's like the academy. We've got a couple of young foreign boys over here that are like 18, 19, they come over, play a bit of rugby here and like just experience the French lifestyle, different culture, and then if you want to, you stay. If not, you head back to New Zealand, and you're still young enough and you have that experience of playing in a European competition to fall back on. So yeah, if I was to say anything to a young guy, I'd say take it, bro.
You reckon we got a bit of a like issue here? I reckon we do, because like boys sort of get caught in that. Got to play here, got to play in New Zealand, got to crack it in New Zealand, because we all grow up like, I want to play Super Rugby, we want to play for the Chiefs, want to play for the All Blacks. That like a lot of boys probably give up opportunities overseas that essentially, like there's dudes overseas like where you are and stuff that people who wouldn't even know who they are, and they'll be making twice what some of the All Blacks over here are making.
Right, 100%. Like, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, the sort of money you can make over here compared to like just holding on to like a dream back home is crazy. And like you said, like some of the boys that have come over here early, like I was saying, Winnie Antonio, he came over, like he was in and around like Canterbury for a bit, and then in and around the counties squad, and never really cracked it. Bro, he came over here, he must have been like, he's been here 10 years, so he must have been like 20, 21. Bro, he's played for France, like at the World Cup. He's like big dog, bro. He's a tight head prop, bro. So over here in France, they love tight head props. So he's on some cash too, and like, bro, he's like French as they get. But yeah, he's like one of the examples who didn't quite really crack it, and instead of sticking around, he's like, oh, stuff it, I'll go somewhere else, bro. And he's cracked it, bro. Like, he's still playing for France now, and he's living his best life, bro.
So he didn't even play NPC here?
Nah, I don't think so. He might have played 1 or 2 games for counties, but he was never really in the mix. They just said he was too big and too unfit, bro. So yeah, so he decided to come over to France, bro. And 10 years later, bro,
that's cracking. See, it's not even like just about, but like not everything's about the money as well. Like, obviously the money's fucking mean, but like the experiences you get, like, bro, the opportunities, the man's playing for France, the lifestyle you live, the chance to travel and fucking see Europe for pretty much free because you're over there, off the back of what they give you. So I'm with you, bro. I reckon there's heaps more boys here that should be taking opportunities overseas. And like you said, there's probably something that boys don't even think about as they go overseas for an opportunity or a few years or something, and they can still come back.
Yeah, and I was in that mindset too when I was young, bro. Like, I wasn't even thinking about like going overseas or anything. I was just like, this is what you do. You just stay in New Zealand and see if you can try and crack it. But
yeah,
if I knew what I knew now back then, like I would have been gone.
Oh well, you're there now.
Yeah, but exactly.
What's following on from that French question? Do you find it hard to like because you're the 10, you're the driver of the game? Do you find it hard ever to communicate on the field?
Yeah, bro. My first season was I struggled big time with it because not the boys here and there speak a bit of English, but not like fluent English, and it was hard to sort of say what I wanted to, like especially as a 10, bro, trying to drive the game. It's hard to get your message across. But slowly and surely, the more words you pick up, it got more and more easy. And then, like I said, we got a good group of foreigners. Like we got Victor Vito, Tawari Pirbalo here, so it's easier to fall back on stuff when you got them that have got your back. And we've got a couple of South Africans as well. One that speaks really, really good French, like he's fluent in French. So my first year, if I wanted to say something, I was just like, "Oh, bro, like, can you translate for me?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, sweet," and just do it. Like, even on the field, I was just like in a little huddle, just try and get my point across, and then he'd translate it. Hopefully, he was saying what I was saying.
I'm a ballbag.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of your calls in French, all your calls in French, or
it's about half, bro. Like, but that's not really the hard thing. Like, because at the end of that, it's just a word that's associated with a move or a play off a line or something like that. So it's just about learning the word and stuff. So yeah, that's not too bad.
Just like being on the field would be twice as hard because it's not just like having to communicate, it's having to communicate while you're fucked, while you're blowing and the brain's not working properly.
Yeah, bro, 100%. But yeah, now like my fourth season now, been in 3 years, so it's slowly getting easier.
Yeah, have any plans of leaving anytime soon?
Nah, bro, like we're loving it at the moment here. Like I'm on my last year contract at the moment, so we want to stay in France. My wife loves it over here as well, so she's chomping at the bit to stay in France somewhere. So hopefully, all things going well, we get to stay at La Rochelle. If not at La Rochelle, at another club in France somewhere. But yeah, hopefully that comes in the next few weeks.
Yeah, any talks to them about it at all?
Yeah, a little bit here and there, but the thing is, right now, like they're trying to, because obviously you're only allowed a certain amount of foreigners in each team, and that number is going down every year because they're trying to make the level of the French team and French rugby a bit higher. So, so that's another thing we sort of have to deal with as foreigners, is like the club juggling the foreign numbers and the French numbers. So, yeah, had little talks here and there, but they're just sort of waiting to see what happens with the rest of the squad, I guess.
You don't have any kids, eh?
No, bro, just a 3-year-old French bulldog.
Well, the kids on the cards, or?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to have a family of my own, and my wife would love to as well. So yeah, it's definitely on the cards. Maybe one day soon we'll see what happens.
Little easies rolling around.
Yeah, bro. Little French easies.
I was talking to Teddy Stenaway like not that long ago, and he was saying it's just crazy how his kids have been over there with him, and they're like 4 years or whatever it is, and they're like fluent French now, like they're fluent bilingual. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Like a lot of our foreign boys have obviously got kids and stuff too, and like the way the kids pick up the language, bro, is just crazy. Like all of them just like more fluent than the parents, like just like translating for the parents, like when they need something done. It's crazy how quick the kids pick it up.
Kids' brains are sponge.
Yeah, bro, 100%. Teddy was actually here. He came. He was at our club for a few weeks as like they call it a medical joker. Like we had a couple of injuries, so he came and spent a few weeks with us. So yeah, bro, the boys loved him here, but coaches didn't want to keep him, so he had to leave.
He's a good kid, that fella.
Yeah, bro, he's the man, that dude.
Oh well, thanks for your time, G. Appreciate you jumping on. I understand it's a little bit late over there. It was almost 9 o'clock over there.
Yeah, bro, it's getting darker earlier here now, bro. Moving into winter, so getting colder. But nah, all good, bro. Thanks for having me, bro. Enjoyed it.
I better send you over a couple hoodies to keep warm, bros.
Yeah, bro. That one you got on is looking nice, bro.
All right. Thanks, my G. Appreciate you jumping on. Good to catch up too.
No worries.